So when I work with people, we start out by just talking about who they are and what they're looking for and what their skills are and what their objectives are and what their lifetime vision is. What do they want to do in their life? What is their long-term vision for where they want to get to? Because the business is not the destination. The business is not the vision. That's not the goal. The business is the vehicle that gets you to your vision, right? But there are other people that are just in the wrong franchise. They have no money left. They have the wrong skill set. They were sold something that's not right for them. And really, all they can do is get out.
What are some of the mistakes that franchise buyers make that you think can be unavoidable or that you've kind of see as a pattern? Because I'm sure you probably over the years have people that reach out to you after they've gone and bought independently, right? And kind of did it on their own and they go, help, I made a mistake.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't help you too much at that point. But, if you're in the wrong franchise and you're, at that point of desperation, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like you've gone down the road all the way to the end of the road, but you're on the wrong road. And that's a problem. That's a real problem. So um, when people start looking for franchises, a lot of times what they do is they just jump on the internet, right? They're like saying, oh, franchise opportunities in my area, or best franchises, or hot franchises. They start Googling stuff. Um, and there's so many ways in which people, I think, start off the path wrong. Um, I mean, the most common way, and you've probably seen this a lot, is people get onto the internet and there's like best franchises, right? And they end up on this top 50 franchises in America list, which has nothing to do with anything to do with it, whether it's available in their area, whether they'd be good at it, whether it's a successful franchise. All it means is they're selling a lot of franchises and it's popular. I call that the lemming approach. Everyone's a lemming. They all go and they'd all jump off the cliff together, right? And there's a lot of stories over the last 20 years that I can tell you of lemming concepts that popped up. Thousands of people jumped on and they all lost their money. So lemming approaches are number one. The second one is passion approaches. I really love to ride my bicycle, so look for bicycle shops. I like to play my guitar, so I want a music shop. Um, has nothing to do with what you should be looking at, right, at the beginning. There's some people who look at their neighbors, or they look at scarcity. That's another approach. They look at their neighborhood and say, our neighborhood doesn't have a good sandwich shop, so we need a sandwich shop. Has nothing to do with what they should be doing. They're looking at what the neighborhood needs, right? That's scarcity. Some people look at their neighbors. My neighbor's doing really well. He's in whatever. I want to do that. There's so many ways. And so when the only way to really do is to start at the beginning before somebody has committed and built a business and it's not working. You have to start way before that. And so when I work with people, we start out by just talking about who they are and what they're looking for and what their skills are and what their objectives are and what their lifetime vision is. What do they want to do in their life? What is their long-term vision for where they want to get to? Because the business is not the destination. The business is not the vision. That's not the goal. The business is the vehicle that gets you to your vision, right? So the real goal is to kind of create a really clear written description of what perfect might look like. And you do that before you look at any franchises. After you have that, then you start looking at franchises, and now you have this anchor you've thrown out, right? This definition of what perfect looks like. And as you analyze franchises, you can compare them against what you originally wanted and make sure you didn't get sold something that's not good for you, right? That you didn't drift off your anchor. And that's kind of the process. But if somebody's already signed a franchise agreement, spent the franchise fee, opened the business, I can give them advice, and I speak to people every week who call me with that issue. I can give them advice, but I can't do much to untangle what's already been created.
And when you get those calls, those emails, what seems to be their main issue and challenge that they're struggling with, and how much of it do you think is possibly a franchisor thing and buying the wrong franchise versus this person is not at the leadership level that they need to be at in order to run their business correctly. And they're in the right vehicle, they just don't know how to drive the vehicle.
There are some cases that are like the latter that you say. I mean, the person's in a good franchise. I know it's a good franchise. They have the basic skills, but they just aren't putting it together. And in those scenarios, finding an outside coach, finding a group of people that you can talk to, where because there's the franchisor will often give them coaching on how to run the business, but isn't always coaching on um, how to be a business owner, I guess. And so I think that you've done some work in that area, and there are people who really benefit from that because they're not at the end of the road, right? They're at the beginning, but they're confused and they don't know how to handle what it means to be a business owner. And those individuals really could benefit.
If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.